Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh to Dr. Aslam Muhammad. My name is Mohamed Kaka Ahmed. I'm here to present the topic, the current use and the practice of big data by warehouse industry in Malaysia. And let's look at the abstract. The goal for this article is to at least explore the means determinants and the influencing the Malaysian warehouse industry intention to implement the data, the big data analysis that is big D. And the paradigms of this technology organization environment was to introduce the key principles of to at least to facilitate the competition framework, and the conceptual articles is to describe determine the potentials of a big data adoption within the Malaysia warehouse industry. And let's look at the table of content. And the table of content, we try to see the objectives of the article, the current use of the practice of the big data in Malaysia, and the big data adoptions, how the Malaysians try to adopt the big data in the warehouse industry, and the theoretical foundation in big data, and the relative advantages, the government support, and the Malaysians, how the Malaysian nursing the data analysis talents, and the importances of the big data in Malaysia. And going by the introduction, Malaysia is still facing some big challenges in implementing the big data strategies as a result of facing these challenges, technology in development of digital infrastructure, which include the center, according to some researchers that are predicting for the 2030s, and the divisions launching by the prime ministers emphasize the need to put together the big data would also require heavy investment and close the cooperation between the government and the industry. And at the same time, the awareness of this data wisely and effectively are important factors, and ensuring the data are securing, and to see the delivery methods, and help to make the effective decision making. And the key element to ensure the implementation of the digital economics is to realize in the line with the current global trend for the country economic growth, and to further state that there are five principal strategies to implement the big data, including the reviewing existing legislation, and to introduce the policy for holistics and digital economy. Besides that, this proposal for a new business model is to introduce and to develop a sustainable digital infrastructure, which include the data center and modules for institution and within the industry themselves. And moreover, to discover the hidden trends, similarity, and other observation, the big data will analyze large volumes of data, which have been stated that in 2018, big data essentially consists of five characteristics, which is known as five V's, which include high velocity, high veracities, and high value, and also we have the lastly, which is veracities, which has been introduced in 2000 by this author in 2015. And let's quickly look at the current use of the practice of a big data industry in Malaysia. So let's look at this theoretical framework, the theoretical foundation in big data, the adoptions of the big data, relative advantages of the big data industry, competitions, government support, and how Malaysia is nursing the analytic talent, the need for the big data in Malaysia, and the conclusion. And the current use of and the practice of the big data, uh, it increased the largest economic companies in the world arriving in Malaysia and founded the first digital free trade zone in Malaysia. And this group of companies introduced wanted to introduce Malaysia Electronics World Trade platform in 2017. Therefore, to support and increase the legislative systems, he set up a regional logistics hub in Malaysia in 2017, and the warehouse facility run by the POS in Malaysia, and the national career of Malaysia is the first phase of this kind, and the legislature of this warehouse facility is effectively converted from an old thermal cargo to full flag warehouse with a automatic material handling the equipment, deploying for sorting, shelving, distributing, and temperatures control storage, customs clearance, and the pick pack facility in 2017. And therefore, the importance of the warehouse facilities in the Malaysian legislation hub was greatly increased through the partnership between these two companies. And by mere looking, there are some other researchers who also have the interest to come and establish in same 2017. And what they intend doing is to add the big data technology and professional to be infrastructure along with the cloud computing in legislative of in warehouse facility in Malaysia. And along with the link between the big data and this Canio Logistics Network cloud to implement the warehouse and to also process the warehouse activities such as procurement, storage, custom, and more other relevant equipment that will be very necessary for the implementation. So the big data adoptions in warehouse, this action will also major impact is a major impact in Malaysian logistics. And within these enterprises resources, plannings framework big data help warehousing firm to identify the inventory level of a distributions. And by the way, the big data allow it to be very easy to deliver itself, since it can optimize the complex web of a distribution hub and the warehouse in the real time in 2017. And the theoretical foundation in big data, in this information technology ICT, there are several ideas that have been developed and used in 2009. However, we want to concentrate on those theories relevant to our research paper, and therefore the relative advantage into these adoptions of this big data by some other researchers refer to the magnitude of an organization believe that an invention can be better than the current concept they replace, and the company needs to understand according to these all these researchers that want to introduce and adopt the big data in Malaysia. And therefore, the information technologies, as you can see, really have some current problems of bringing new product opportunities, such as improving operation quality and efficiency, and to improve the productivities of the of a big data in Malaysia and industry competition. So one of the main priority areas of this level Malaysia in 2017, in 2002 2020 is to see that the warehousing industry involved in logistics and the supply chain management in 2017. In order to achieve this more competitive advantage, warehouse company therefore need to put some effort to introduce new creative technology. If the warehouse company in Malaysia uh, understand the competitive advantage to inherit the big data, adopt the big data, the intentions of this implementation, big data company will certainly increase the basis of the argument, we can at least establish the following purpose. And by this graph, the researchers who propose to bring or deploy the big data into Malaysia, or into Malaysia to adopt the big data for the implementation, as at the volume of the data and the information created captures copied and consumed worldwide from 2010 to 2024. And as you can see from the graph, and the government is giving a support. This is because the big data implementation is to core component of the 11 Malaysian plan from 2016 to 2020. In the same light, several agencies such as Malaysian Digital Economics Corporate have been deployed by the Malaysian government to support any new disruptive technology that include the big data as a catalyst for further economic growth in the sector. And all these acts have shows that in all fields, including the public and the private sector, the Malaysian government is completely supporting of a big data adoption. And therefore, how the Malaysian is trying to nurturing the big data analysis talent, according to some reports gathered for the big data adoption. We surpass at least 210 US billion in 2020, aimed at a 20 feet lift in the data volume between 2000 and 2020. And this MDEC, Data Economy Director, have said on several occasions that big data will bring benefits such as better efficiencies and productivity for Malaysia. And besides, it promotes the continuous learning as a vital aspect of the Malaysian digital culture, and as a speed-aided talent program to increase the numbers of data specialists in the Malaysian from 4,000 to 16,000, as well as the numbers of the data science from 100 to 1,005 by 2020. Private-public collaboration remains so concerned of a big data strategy to grow the country data analysis talent pool. And you can see how Malaysians is nurturing the big data. The need for the big data in Malaysia. Why is it so necessary? Why is it so important that Malaysia must adopt the big data to improve the efficiencies of their economy by analyzing the enhancing of the vast amount of the data generating by the people daily activities, being able to at least map a public health pattern to enhance the safety and the smooth uh, traveler journey. Big data is transforming the Malaysian government services delivery in new and powerful way. In conclusion, the primary objective of this research paper is to analyze the data and the determinants, the use and the practice of big data adoptions intention within the Malaysia industry, and the theory systems adopted in this analysis is the synthesis of the framework for GOE and the GeoHi theories. Thank you, and God bless. And here are my references for purpose.